It is April 16th. It's April 16th. So it is time for some poetry and yapping with your favorite tóxica. I don't know if I look tóxica today. I don't know why I call myself that. Anyways, let's get started. I am reading poems from my open mic journal. And these are poems that I perform at open mics from the summer of 2024 until just recently. I still haven't finished it. I still have a few more pages. Anyways, let's go with the first poem. It's in Spanish, and it's called 19 Angelitos. 19 angelitos murieron ayer por la culpa de odio, por culpa de la maldad, por culpa de una sociedad que prefiere las armas y la libertad del individualismo, proteger a los niños. 19 angelitos murieron ayer y la sangre de ellos está en las manos de los políticos demócratas y republicanos que nunca toman acción para parar esta epidemia de matanza y suelen nomás llenarnos con promesas vacías que no hacen nada para remediar el virus de odio que nos impacta. I believe I wrote this in it's called 19 Angels, and I think I wrote this in a few years ago when Uvalde happened, and I was just so mad as a person, as a mother, as a human being that this stuff happens. Anyways, let's go with Apple Pie. The next poem is called Apple Pie. Apple Pie. This feels like the longest week, but it's because once again we're in a state of collective mourning and grief. 21 souls lost to another senseless act of violence that's become the fact of this nation. When will this insanity stop? When will we lose the fear of sending our kids to school? When will we stop living off the useless condolences and prayers and start taking real action to protect us and our children from this epidemic of gun violence that is becoming as American as apple pie? Obviously, I was very angry, and I continue to be angry. And I wrote this poem on this time. A little preface, it is about what happened in Georgia. It was like the shooting that happened in Barrow County, Georgia, Winder. So I live in Athens, which is about like 30 minutes away from there, and when I heard about it, it was nearby. It hit close to home, right? And I felt just so much. I had taken off, I think, that afternoon, and I wrote this poem, and then I performed that at open mic. So let's start with this time. This time, it hits too close to home. This time, it feels a matter of when. In America, my children learn run, duck, and cover before learning their ABCs, before learning to spell the word gun. But that is the deck of cards dealt to all parents living in America. Safety in schools is an illusion long gone since the days of Columbine. But with each massacre, we all break a little more, and our anxiety skyrockets even more the closer this epidemic gets to us. This time, I'll hug my teenager as tightly as possible when he gets home, even if he rolls his eyes at me and says, ew. This time, I allow my fury and rage at this continued senseless violence to pour out of me and on the paper. Collective and personal grief covers me, accepting once again, no matter what I do or how hard I try or how much I love my child, I can't shelter him. I can't protect him from the epidemic of violence in this country. This is actually one of my favorite poems. It might need a little work, but I would really love to see this piece published because, yeah. I guess that I'm filling you guys up with political poetry today. It's okay. It's fine. So this is the fourth poem, and it's called A Brand New Beginning. A Brand New Beginning. I was 5 at the time, caught up in a crime. Our parents wanted a better life for us, and we left our homeland in a rush, searching for peace, searching for safety. They weren't ready for all of the hardships. They were naive in thinking everyone would be welcoming, unaware of the struggles we'd all endure with this new life felt like torture. And for 4 years, we were treated like second-class citizens for our lack of English, for our lack of documents. That was my reality when I came to this country. And then my song. Okay, my song sings a bilingual song in imperfect castellano and fluent English, entre carcajadas y el calor de mi comunidad in Athens, between my few childhood memories of Lima, entre las risas de mis hijos, between my parents' sacrifices, entre Wham y Sylvia Plath, between Bad Bunny and Gustavo Becker. Llevo América en mi corazón, I carry Peru in my veins. Canto esta canción con amor y dolor. I sing this song with love and pain. I really like that poem. It captures my duality of being bicultural and being bilingual. Okay, how many poems is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one is 5. Reina bilingüe. Reina bilingüe, cometiste un gran error. Reina bilingüe, cometiste un gran error que me rompió en 1000 pedazos. Antes estaba llena de ternura, ahora busco venganza. Mis palabras se convirtieron en espadas agudas de furia, gritando cómo tus mentiras jodieron mi mente y mi vida. Me dices que debería olvidar todo y perdonarte. Cariño, ¿acaso tú no me conoces? Te advertí que era loca. Ahora debes enfrentar las consecuencias de tu traición. Ahora aprenderás en nunca meterte con una reina bilingüe, porque ahora te mataré en inglés y en español. Yeah, let me read the English version of that, and it's called Bilingual Queen. You made a huge mistake breaking me in a million pieces. I went from tender to being vindictive when your love turned offensive, and now my words have turned into angry and sharp swords, shouting out how your lies fucked up my mind and life, and I should get over it and forgive you. Honey, get used to it. I warned you I was crazy, and now you must face the repercussions. You were wrong to betray a bilingual bitch, because now I'll cut you down in Spanish and English. I like that poem. I wrote this in 2001, the Spanish version anyways, but it's still, unfortunately, it is still something that's still like a staple in my life. Okay, the next one is called Bilingual. Stuck in between Spanish and English in a bilingual nightmare, constantly switching between languages gives me a lifelong jaqueca. At times I don't get it right. I'm switching between two identities, Latina and American, and it's so hard and confusing at times, but es quien soy. Hablo con mami en español. I speak to my coworkers in English. And to code switch parece una comedia. I'm told I'm loud and dramatic in español, pero soy profesional y reservada in English. But eventually I learned to meld my American and Latina personalities and find a most authentic bilingual and bicultural identity. Okay. The next one is very it's I feel like I got the poems that I about my bilingual bicultural identity. This one is called Gringa Chola. This one was fun to perform. Gringa Chola. Me llaman gringa porque crecí en los Estados Unidos y hablo español con un acento americano. They call me Chola because I was born in the land of the Incas and I can't enunciate CH words. Me llaman gringa porque tengo la tez clara gracias a mis antepasados colonizadores. They call me Chola because I tan easily in the sun and my curves don't fit into the mainstream American standards of beauty. Me llaman gringa porque tengo una atracción hacia los diablos con cabello rubio y ojos azules. They call me Shola because the Amazon jungle in me brings that passion in me that ignites my creativity and a wild sexual energy. Me llaman gringa porque soy teasa cuando bailo y no tengo ritmo. They call me Shola because I tear it up on the dance floor after some alcohol. Soy gringa and I am Shola por una desgraciada turn of fate. Me veo teniendo que forcefully embrace dos identities en dos culturas que nunca me aceptarán. Alright, this is number 8. It's in Spanish. And I have actually the translation of this poem too. Al carajo. Al carajo el cuento tóxico de amor que sigo repitiendo. Rehúso a que me falten el respeto. Rehúso a ser usada y abusada por otro hombre que me llena de una ternura falsa porque me quiere en su cama. Paró de ser una curita temporánea para otro hombre confundido que me expulsa de su vida cuando exijo ser respetada y amada. Desde ahora, cualquier hombre que quiera acercarse tendrá que ser digno de mi energía y mi magia. Worthy. This one is funny in English, Worthy. Fuck the toxic love story I keep on repeating. I refuse to be disrespected and objectified by another man who lies to me about love because he's lonely and wants me in his bed. I will no longer be a temporary band-aid for another confused man who doesn't know what he wants and discards me when I demand respect and love. From now on, any man who wants to be near me will have to prove himself worthy of my energy and my magic. I read that with a little too much anger. I don't know what. Chaotic love. Okay, this one. It's funny. Anyways, chaotic love. Chaotic love. Red flags were all around you, but I was in denial and didn't want to see the mess that was you. I felt chemistry, a connection, everything songwriters write about, from longing glasses to awkward first kisses, to feeling your heart race as you pulled me close to you. I was filled with hungry butterflies wanting to devour you, who cared about your red flags flashing as you talked about your newly departed lover. I was new. I was here. I would be different. Who cared about the emotional devastation you just went through? I was older, I was experienced, I would heal and nurture you. Red flags were all around you, and it was chaos, passion, and devastation all in one lover. And I didn't have the clarity to think it through, because after one night with you, I was addicted to the chaos, the adrenaline, and the destruction that was you. Okay, I think this one's number 8. And then the breakup, that's so fitting. It's just fitting. The breakup. You went back to your life and I went back to mine. It was as if we never existed. Tender kisses and caresses were forgotten in a different universe where there wasn't us. Within a 24-hour silence, we went from friendship and lustful adventures to emptiness and being strangers. That poem is actually my most famous one on Tumblr. It gets a lot of likes and reshares. I don't know why. It's such a simple poem. But I guess that a lot of people can just relate to that. And I wrote this in 2019. Terrible. The next one is my last one. And it's called Terrible. Maybe this poem is terrible. I don't know. Terrible. Being a working class and an immigrant is a terrible existence in America. It's constantly trying to navigate 2 cultures you never fully identify with. It's being on 3 different mental health meds just to exist and function. It's grief filled with mania many days because you don't know how to feel and how to be. So you feel absolutely everything. It's like throwing constant curveballs at you and feeling like you're playing dodgeball with the universe and karma. It's being too much and not enough. It's having identity crisis after identity crisis and trying to cope with temporary fixes like men, alcohol, and shopping. Until one day you end up in therapy at 40 with a diagnosis of the scarlet letters of the DSM-5, BPD, or borderline personality disorder, and wondering, how the fuck did I get here? Oh my god, that was a bad reading of that poem, but whatever. I mean, it's terrible, so it's terrible, right? Ha ha ha. Anyways, this was fun. Okay. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. And it's gonna be more political shit, I guess. Alright, bye! I had no viewers.